7 FM, the people's voice.
This is Kunle Amzat Studio, Akojopo 88.7 FM. Welcome to News Around the World.
Good evening. Welcome to the news around the world on Akojopo 88.7 FM Ibadan, the most listened to radio station. I am Olajumoke Oladunjoyi. The headlines. First Lady urges Muslim women to champion faith, resilience, national development. Oyo Osun Staff Association tasks retirees on health, social interaction, mentorship. United States eats Canadian goods with 50% tariffs after trade talks fail. Manchester United fall in shocking Hull City in Premier League opener. And now the details. The First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has urged Muslim women across the country to remain steadfast in their faith and deploy their resilience and influence in raising responsible families, strengthening communities, and contributing to Nigeria's development. Senator Tinubu spoke while declaring open the 41st National Conference of the Confederation of Muslim Women's Associations in Nigeria, Form 1, in Umuahia, Abia State, where she said women occupy strategic positions in society and must continue to lead by example through compassion, patience, mutual support, and inculcation of sound moral, ethical, and religious values in children. The First Lady, who was represented at the conference by the wife of the Vice President, Ajia Nana Shetima, commended Form 1 for more than 4 decades of service to Nigerian women and families, particularly its interventions in areas critical to social and national development. Senator Tinubu further charged Muslim women to continue playing their part in nurturing peaceful homes and building stronger communities, stressing that the values imparted to children by women have far-reaching consequences for society. The Muslim rights concern, MURIC, has advised the Minister of Defense, General Christopher Gwabe Musa, to mobilize resources and manpower within his reach to halt incessant killings and other violent crimes in the country, just as it noted that recent killings of innocent citizens, particularly in Sokoto State, is worrisome. MURIC made the call in a statement signed by its Executive Director, Professor Ishaq Akintola, insisting that widespread killings, kidnappings, and violent crimes should be brought to an end. Professor Akintola warned that Sokoto State is currently under blockade because farmers cannot go to their farms, and city dwellers also sleep with one eye open, adding that villagers now seek safety outside their communities. The MURIC head further called on the Nigerian army to halt the killings as the incessant attacks in Sokoto State have far-reaching effect on both the Nigerian security architecture as well as the Nigerian populace. Beyond paying school fees and providing basic needs, parents have a crucial role to play in shaping their children's academic success and future. But how much involvement is enough, and what happens when parents are too busy or absent from their children's learning process? The busy schedules of today's parents has caused poor communication and lack of understanding between parents and their children. Akojopo FM News correspondent Temitope Mustafa examines how parents get involved with their children's life and education. Blessing Olasukomi brings the report.
The role of parents in children's life is very essential in shaping children's education success, which some parents have no time in supporting their children's learning process. In many Nigerian homes, most parents think paying for school fees and other expenses is enough support for the success and development of children. It is essential for parents and guardians to support their children's learning and academic development, which include helping children with their homework, visiting during school hours and meetings, and providing a convenient learning environment at home. In an interview with Agidigbo FM News, a parent, Mrs. Adeyemo, stated explain how she supports her children academically.
I also attend PTA meeting so that I can tell my own view to the school on top, because the PTA meeting is parent, teacher, association. If I do not go down, I'm cheating myself. Now in reading, when my baby is doing exam or doing test, we read together as a child, parent to child. After reading, I will ask questions. I will bring out questions for her to write the answer, and I will still check whether she did well. If she not did well, I will ask her to go back to the place.
During another interview with Agidigbo FM News, another parent, Mrs. Aminat, said that going to students' PTA meetings and opening day are very essential so as to know their child's performance in school.
Open days, at least you'll be able to know how your child or works performance in school. You know how they relate with others. Yes, it is very, very good and necessary for parents to know how their children.
In another interview with Agidigbo FM, Mrs. Esther said that the impact of parents in children will inflate as the kids grow to become adults in life.
There are cases where fathers abandon their children and wives. Cases like that, there is difference in the upbringing of that child. But if both the fathers and the mothers raise their children, the children will be successful.
As parents remain the first teacher and major influencer in the life of their children, education experts say that involvement should go beyond paying school fees and providing basic needs. They stress that regular communication with teachers, participation in PTA meetings and school activities, assistance with homework, and creating a conducive learning environment at home can significantly improve children's academic performance and overall development. Parents and guardians are therefore encouraged to make time for their children's education, as the support and guidance they receive today can play a major role in shaping the responsibility and successful adults they become. Blessing Olasukomi, Agidigbo FM News.
The Association of Heads of Service and Permanent Secretaries of Oyo and Osun State has held its 2026 Arespus Day with a call on members to prioritize healthy aging, social interaction, and purposeful living. The event, which featured sightseeing, a health lecture, medical screening, and reminiscences of years in public service, brought together serving and retired heads of service, as well as permanent secretaries from the two states. Speaking at the event, the chairman of the association, Chief Adebisi Adeshola, said they instituted the annual celebration to coincide with the celebration of elderly people and provide members with an opportunity to relax, reconnect, and share experiences outside their usual environment. Chief Adeshola also commended members for their cooperation, commitment, and sacrifices during their years of public service, urging them to continue mentoring younger generations and serving as role models in their communities. The Royal Eminence of Atayero Royal Family, Arakale Ruling House, Aramoko Kingdom in Ekiti State, Dr. Oluwasegun Adesetan, has called on traditional institutions in Africa to give women roles to play with a view to ensuring they make more contributions to their traditional societies. Dr. Adesetan made the recommendation in his address in Oxford University in Oxford, United Kingdom, at a historic convocation of African and diaspora queens, kings, traditional leaders, and distinguished change makers. The Royal Eminence recommended that gender equality education should be promoted through awareness campaigns and designed educational programs that would challenge stereotypes and traditional gender roles, which will focus on the benefits of women's participation and strategies for overcoming barriers. Dr. Adesetan further recommended that women should be provided with skills training and capacity building programs that can empower them with the knowledge and tools they need to take on leadership roles within traditional institutions. Now it is time to link up with our Maryland studio, United States, for the foreign news.
News from Kule Amzat Studio, Agidigbo FM, United States. I am Oluwatosin Sonya. The United States imposed 50% tariffs on certain Canadian goods on Saturday after the two longtime allies failed to reach a new trade agreement, with both sides blaming the other for the breakdown in negotiations. The tariffs, which took effect shortly after midnight, cover about $20 billion worth of Canadian product. The affected goods account for just over 5% of Canada's exports to the United States, limiting their immediate economic impact. However, the new tariffs have heightened tensions between President Donald Trump and Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, and could complicate broader negotiations aimed at renewing the U.S.-Mexico-Canada Free Trade Agreement. Carney said Canada had suspended the trade talks and would retaliate against the U.S. tariffs dollar for dollar. He said last-minute changes to the terms proposed by Washington were unfair and economically damaging, and raised questions about the reliability of any future agreement. A U.S. judge on Friday struck down a Trump administration policy suspending the issuance of immigrant visas to applicants from 75 countries, saying that the policy exceeded Secretary of State Marco Rubio's statutory authority. U.S. District Judge Janet Vargas in Manhattan said the policy that the State Department announced in January was patently unlawful and ran afoul of federal immigration law, which explicitly stripped the Secretary of State of authority over consular officers' processing of immigrant visas. The judge added that the policy, which categorically prohibits the issuance of immigrant visas based upon the nationality of the applicant, represents a direct abrogation of this statutory scheme. The State Department's suspension, that also took effect in January, impacted applicants from Latin American countries and those from many nations in Africa, the Middle East, and the Caribbean. And that ends the news from Kuleamzat Studio, Agidigbo FM, United States. I am Oluwatosin Sonya.
Welcome back. In the exciting world of sport, Manchester United fell in a shocking 2-0 loss to newly promoted Hull City in their first match of the 2026-27 Premier League. It took just 17 minutes for Manchester United to fall behind when Shemilogo Ajayi smashed home from a corner, while Nogumendi doubled Hull's surprise advantage after 38 minutes with a powerful header. United had come into the season high on confidence after their end to the 2025-26 campaign under Michael Carrick, where they finished third to qualify for the Champions League, and some new summer signings, but it was Hull City who got promoted through the playoffs last season that impressed on their home turf with two defenders on the score sheet. Speaking after the victory, Hull City's Regan Slater, whose free kick set up the second goal, said its massive statement to start their Premier League campaign on a winning note against Manchester United in front of their fans, while admitting that Hull City picked up where they left off last season. For Michael Carrick and Manchester United, it is back to the drawing board before next weekend, when they host Ipswich Town at Old Trafford Stadium in the match day 2 of the Premier League. To wrap up the news this evening, here is a recap of the headlines. First Lady urges Muslim women to champion faith, resilience, national development. Oyo Osun Staff Association tasks retirees on health, social interaction, mentorship. United States hits Canadian goods with 50% tariffs after trader talks fail. Manchester United fall in shocking Hull City defeat in Premier League opener.
Don't forget that you can listen to us live on our website www.agidigbo88.7fm.com. You can also download our mobile app on Google Play Store and iOS. Simply search for Agidigbo 88.7 FM. Follow us on Facebook at Agidigbo 88.7 FM, on Twitter and Instagram at Agidigbo 887 FM, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have news stories and tips for us, contact our newsroom on 070-8714-4865 or send us a mail on newsroom@agidigbo887fm.com.
And before we go this evening, Here is a quick tip. Your talent determines what you can do. Your motivation determines how much you're willing to do. And your attitude determines how well you do it. Finally, we've come to the end of the news around the world on Agidigbo 88.7 FM Ibadan, the most listened to radio station. I am Olajumoke Olatunjoye. Thank you for listening. Good evening.
News is information, and information is power. At Agidigbo 88.7 FM, we bring the news from top to bottom.
The Oyo State Independent Electoral Commission (OISEC) has called for continuous collaboration.
We bring you reports from Oyo State.
The Oyo State House of Assembly has called for thorough investigation.
Southwest Nigeria and the rest of the world.
Has clarified that the body did not receive any cash support from international development.
Trust us to keep you informed every hour, every day.
Agidigbo 88.7 FM, the people's voice.